trouble is darker still. Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him. But his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul. I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
Well. Good day to you people. How are you doing? Good to see you. We just had experienced the beautiful intro cinematic in audio format of Daggerfall 2, Daggerfall Elder Scrolls 2. And for some that do not know this game, essentially Daggerfall is the second entry for the Elder Scrolls series. Very open-ended game, very active in community-wise, and the music, for some reason, I haven't seen too many of the remasters for that, especially with some of the newer equipment that we could use for it. Indeed. So that is why we are going to be making that, creating some remasters for Daggerfall, a game that is, there was this Unity port made of it. It's procedurally generated world and such. I personally very fancy this sort of interesting old game design that was used to make this. So this is what we're going to be making today. I'm just going to be putting some setups here in just quickly. Yeah, here we go. Eluukkanen. Daggerfall music. Daggerfall OST. Live stream, remake, remastered. I don't know how many of you are familiar with this. Essentially, my story begins on why I got interested about it, because I found out about the Unity project that is currently in creation of this, and basically, bringing this old game to Unity, which is of course much more easier to mod, and there's actually fairly active modding community in there. So let me save the information here. Nice, we got better looks and such, good. So this person, let me actually show his Twitter. Can I find his Twitter somewhere? Yeah, there's this one dude behind it all. Let me try to find it. Daggerfall Unity. And I messaged him, hey, could I remaster the music for it? And he gave me some ideas that, of course, why not? And how to actually make a mod for it. So today's challenge would be that a bit easier than normally, but still, it's going to be some sort of work. We're going to be taking MIDIs that are part of the original game, the notation things. MIDIs are pretty easy to take. Anyone can take them, even you if you want to. And we're going to be remastering them very simply, by using a very simple program I tend to like. And once we do that, we are going to make a mod for it. Hopefully a working and functional one as that. So let's see how this whole thing works, and let us begin the creation. Let me just see how things are, and also the contact for the person. Yeah, this person is the one that I saw. This sort of person that leads the whole project. Gavin Clayton, spare time game dev, Interkarma. Yeah, and his work on the build for the Daggerfall Unity is quite impressive. He has been doing quite a lot of work for making it functional, this sort of old game, and it looks with Unity quite good indeed. Also, you can now, people can edit this with the Unity engine, so of course it's much more simple, and I've seen many improvements over it. As you can see, here we go. Oh, this is something else. But anyways, there's a lot of stuff over here that they have done for the game, and as you can see, it's kind of oldish looking, but still, we could do a remaster. It could hopefully impress some people over there on the remastered side, and I'm going to be, of course, showing the creation side for you here today. So let us see how that works. Let me just see, are we actually online right now? And begin the work. Today we're going to be releasing the spiral thing we made last week. So that is what we're going to be working on. So here we go. Something in the background over there. Alright, it works. Excellent. And let me still share this in a few places before we begin. In the Daggerfall community in Reddit. I think that there is a community in there. Yeah, Daggerfall Unity. Hopefully it might interest some of the people in there. Who knows? We shall see. Reddit is a mixed bag of place. Sometimes works, sometimes it's a nice place, sometimes not that good. Yeah, we have to. It depends. So let me put a link over here. Let me share this as a stream in there. Daggerfall Unity. I don't know how many of you are interested of these old games, my current people that follow me, but I think it's worth checking out this old game that was very large. The space was as large as big as England. Of course, procedurally generated back in 1996, so it might not be in the best details, but still very impressive for its time. Currently making my creations. Daggerfall soundtrack. Alright, here we go. I suppose this might interest them. Who knows? We shall see. And finally, let me share this to our Discord that we are working, and also finally to Twitter side of things, to this person. I think he might be interested on that. Who knows? We shall see. We shall find out. Might be a wrong time zone though on this time, because America it might be even some night on there. But we shall see. We shall see. I will be sharing this to him nonetheless. No, not that my. But yeah, we will begin our work shortly. I will be just sharing a few things. We are going to listen to some of the music in the background as we are working here, sharing these. I need to share this nowadays because sometimes the systems over here do not really give knowledge to others on these streams, which is a pretty sad phenomenon, to be honest. Daggerfall, and what's the name of the person that I wanted to send this to? Here we go. And we still put the picture in there. Here we go. So this is basically, the music is very much this European sort of Fantasyland music. Was not made by Jeremy Soule. It was not. Indeed so. It was made by, I don't actually remember the name of the composer. Can we find him here? Composition by Erik Heberling. An unknown composer also in addition to that. So, yes. There's quite many themes. We shall see how we are working here, but we shall see, we shall see. Now, let me still share this to Elokas and then we shall begin fully. Alright? Always have to do this sort of pre-sharing, but you know, that's how the life works. So here... Daggerfall remake creation. And yeah, let us begin. So the thing is here, I'm pretty lucky in a sense that I have MIDIs already in place, so I can just put them here and really work on them from that. And I've already done some remastered work for this earlier, so let me show it to you a little bit and such. Moment. Yeah, let me show that work that I've already done for this. And basically, we're going to be making a whole soundtrack if we are able to, which is because we don't need to put every note there. We can just use the MIDIs that are already shown in the Elder Scrolls for themselves, which is very useful for me. But now, let me see. Do I have the details and the songs over here at somewhere? Let me just open them. Ah, man, today's Monday, so Mondays are the beginning time of work for things, and I have already done a video for the Spyro thing. I'm going to be working, of course, on the sort of like real work sort of stuff, you know, the games and such after this, but now the folder. So, okay, the folder name is Daggerfall music I have here. So I've made few pieces for it. Let us hear some of them. How do they sound? Yeah. And this is the second theme. And the next one is the third theme. I've also made that, because I use a very simple tool to make this. This is one of my favorites. Yeah, you know, compared to the old song, I think it, you know, works. The old songs are in MIDI format in this way in the old game. Some people have remastered with them, you know, with some Roland and other synthesizers, you know, using better synthesizers. But I personally want to use orchestral instruments that on the library I got to make those. Like these are the original themes in the MIDI, and actually very well done, I would say. Very fitting, to be honest. But now let me open the fourth one, which is a dungeon theme. Very eerie stuff, I tell you. Another dungeon theme. So this is going to be very easy because we already have the MIDIs here. And what else? We have few themes over here. So yeah, we have the basis for these quite easily done. We have already themes, how many have we have done? 8 ones. So we are going to be starting from the 9th and continuing from that. And then we're going to be making hopefully the mod that we are able to use in the Unity engine. With the tools and help made by the Gavin, the guy who is behind this sort of stuff. Yes, let me actually find him again. I forgot this. Yeah, I'm going to be using his advice that he gave, Gavin Clayton. Let's see how that works. But now, let's open the 9th piece. Open. And begin the work. And as you can see, this is kind of cheesy because this is going to be super easy for me because the whole MIDIs have been done in advance. So very easy for me, I would say. So the 9th one is where we start. Good. Yeah, we're not going to be using the the thing from the last electronical piece that we actually made, which were on here for some reason. So let us see how does that originally sound, that 9th piece. Very simple theme, I think. I like how it kind of goes. We could actually add some pizzicatos for it. So let's do it. String pizzicato. So we need to make it in the style, so we're able to add the pizzicato for it. Let's do it. The original, the remasters that have already been done, I think, do not really work because they don't have the original orchestral instruments. So now we got it. Alright, let us try listening these with pizzicato added in.
Mr. Wilris. Hey.
Hey, good to see you. How are you doing? Good morning. First comment of the day. I don't know, are you familiar with Daggerfall? But that's what we're working on right now. A very easy remaster because we already have MIDIs. These original compositions were made in MIDI format. So we're going to be doing the whole soundtrack and then of course listening it afterwards. Because it's going to be super easy to do this.
Mr. Wilris.
Yeah, very easy.
Here is a funny joke. 1727 36252836 25272625 28362527
Quite funny, yes.
352527
I might, if more comments like this come, I might actually take the voice thing off. At some point I had that in the past, and unfortunately, you know, the random numbers cannot really doesn't really interest me to listen too much, but a joke, I suppose, somewhat of a joke. But how are you doing, Mr. Walsus? Are you having a good day or a bad day or a very numeric day? A lot of numerals, numbers and such. Yes, indeed.
Mr. Wilrus. Oh, you do not have a voice thing to voice numbers.
I actually have. It did say those. They didn't. I think it did say those, at least for me. Yes,
Mr. Wilrus.
we got that.
The day has gone well.
Good to hear. I don't know. Are you familiar with the Daggerfall? I don't know. Actually, are many here, and that's why this might be a problematic stream, because usually people tend to come to a thing that they are familiar with. But we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, for some reason we have some errors on the processing side of some of these sounds. I don't know why, but we shall see. We shall
Jimmy
find out.
Hotajavi.
Jimmy!
Exciting things.
I'm not familiar.
I am not familiar.
Ah, really? Well, hopefully,
Mr. Wilrus.
hopefully this will make you
Not
so.
familiar with Daggerfall.
Well, Daggerfall is this Elder Scroll game, the second
Jimmy
one.
Hotajavi.
Very interestingly done.
Hey,
Yes,
Elias,
I'm
I
doing
am
well,
fine.
thank you. How are you doing? Good to see you. Hopefully all things in Sweden are going fine. Here in Finland, things are somewhat alright. For personally, I'm doing very excitedly because I've been streaming every day now, and you know, it kind of paces the day. I very much like it, and hopefully it's also enjoyable for you to watch as well. So we are doing some very cheaply easy kind of doing remasters, because we are exactly having just the MIDIs that were originally used for the game Daggerfall, this interesting game that had procedurally generated fantasy world that you could actually buy houses, adventure on, even own land, and go to court, and very interesting, many different
Hello,
things.
North XX.
Hello, North. Good to see you, Ike. How are you doing? Good to see you. North is doing fine. How about France? But we shall see.
Jimmy Hotajavi. Hey Echo, we are quite fine. It's nice weather today.
Yeah, there are a few things about this media I'm going to be fixing, but hey, good to hear. All is nice, weather is good. I've been hearing a lot of, let me actually see what the whole thing is called, the name of it. But kurki, this sort of like animal, I don't remember the name in English, so I will check that, but I woke up for the sound of kurki outside of my window.
Echo
Very lovely indeed.
Here it is, haha.
Ah, it's rainy there. Oh man, sorry to hear you. Well, nature needs the rain. Of course, of course. That's not good for not going to beach. Have you actually went to beach? You mentioned that you had some plans for that. As you can see, very easy to remaster. But the game was interesting for the fact that it had procedurally generated in 1996. Imagine that, yeah, I was not even alive back then, so that's interesting, hopefully. Now we made a remaster for this, very simple one. If you hear the old MIDI ones, they are quite simple, and I wanted to keep this simple as well, because we're going to do the whole soundtrack. We have already done a few things, and 8 tracks so far, now the 9th.
Echo C.
That's fine.
That is fine. The flowers can drink and washes my car.
Yeah, indeed.
Echo
Car
C.
wash for free.
The rain washes my car.
Indeed. A free car wash always is a good thing. You don't need to do that yourself. You know, always there's good sides on things. Let me actually see kurki, what that animal is in, and it says in Polish. No, it's in Finnish. Goddamn, Finnish. Here we go, and it's crane. So yeah, we had a lot of cranes outside of our house, just like woohoo, woohoo, this sort of sounds, and very lovely indeed. Cranes are very lovely animals. They can live near human settlements quite easily, actually, without much problem. Now let's move on to the next piece. So we are doing this sort of like a very normal fantasy music-esque of music, but I don't really mind. There's a lot of tracks to be done. There's some dungeon music, like for fantasy games there should be, and we're going to be working on those. The original themes were in MIDI quality. So we shall see now how do these fare in the format of newer instruments and better quality instruments. But let's see. The next track is 10, called. There's not much names for these. This is another dungeon track. I think we actually could make it very ominous, to be honest. And I'm going to be doing that with a bell instrument I think would work for this.
Akosi. That is perfect because Uikar began to be covered with pollen. And I love rain. It is calm, beautiful, and I love its
You
noise.
already have pollen coming from trees and such, man.
Jimmy
man.
Hotajavi. Excellent. Rain can may also nice.
I'm so jealous for your French.
/ nice work, Elias. I have been listening to your pieces in the past this morning.
I appreciate it.
And mood in many tracks.
Thank you very much. Always appreciate it. Of course, there's a different interest for different tracks. There's been a lot of interest for. Today going to be releasing the remaster track I made last week. Huge interest for that, the Spyro thing. And I made a few tracks last Friday, the techno track. I showed that already to my brother. He said like he's not a fan of that sort of music, and I actually have to agree. I do not listen to it myself too much, but hopefully there's some interest for it. Of course. But now, what else? So we need to open our instrument over here and see how it fares against this sort of track. So this is originally how it sounded. This sort of like very simplistic one pad instrument, and we're going to be adding it to instead not that, but we're going to be doing something quite different from it. If you have any ideas on how to do this, let me know, but I think I have one idea. I'm going to be using one Kalimba instrument and adding a lot of reverb to it in here. And this I used for the Moomin remaster as well. I personally believe this could be, this fits very much cave environments.
Yes, his Lapland music and Moomi music are really beautiful.
Oh, thank you very much, Aiko. I appreciate it. Well, you cannot see for some reason the notes I'm doing. For some reason, I'm actually update that. Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. You should be able to see what I do. Where I can find. But it's very simple pieces you can hear, and it's usually heard, in these sort of cave environments. And I think it could work as this. I think. But I'm trying to now. Yeah, here we go. Now we found it. Good. And let's change it to 9. And now it's of course 10. So let me try to find it. Here we go. This is the one we're doing right now. As you can see, very simple track. Very simple. Just one instrument. Does this bring you this sort of like a cave? You're alone there and such. If I personally, if you are interested on games and game creations and procedurally generated worlds, Daggerfall is one interesting hell of a thing because it actually created whole worlds a size
Jimmy
of whole big nations of
well said,
modern
Echo.
world.
Yes, I agree to that. It's really nice.
Appreciate it. How is Jimmy? How do you ever like? Are you planning on some music creation as well? And Aiko, have you done any paintings recently? Let me know. I have to admit, yesterday didn't visit the Eloka's Discord. Haven't seen any posts that you have made yet there. I was pretty. There was a lot of. I was very busy yesterday working on few things. There's one deadline I got for a game I'm doing called Shakis, this sort of Shaki game that is a commission of mine. So I've been working on that. Otherwise I've been doing fine. But yesterday was a very busy day. Today might not be as busy. We shall see. We shall see about that. But I'm excited for the nature. I'm very annoyed that like 1 week ago we had just a warm weather, and now it made like another this layer of snow landed again. I wish it would be spring already. I don't like this sort of middle period personally. If you would ask me, I don't like the middle period
it's okay.
of nothing.
Having a great time. There's so many nice people there. / sounds interesting, Elias.
Oh, hopefully so.
Yes, I'm waiting for my new painting to dry actually.
Oh, what is the theme of your new painting? Let me know. I personally like your painting, and it is kind of this sort of like a distinct style you got, and I like the collection style of it. Yeah. I at one time, if not yet, because there's not of that yet in production. Hopefully some collaboration at some point.
I want to see that one.
I do want to see that one as well. If you're going to share that, hopefully in the Locus, would be a pleasure to see that. But now another theme that we're going to be working on and seeing how that works. This is the originally how it played out, this track.
Aiko C. Thank you, boys. Black Heart.
Okay, so this sort of interesting. Okay, I like it. But yeah, like this is the thing. I follow a few people, and I really like the fact that some people are actively working on the stuff. Like it's a huge thing, and of course you are a busy person as well, Aiko. I understand that. And of course you had these lessons that you did for the piano people. I don't know how the situation is right now. Is the things opening? Some countries say it's opening right now. The things that they're doing. But yeah, like it so much depends on everything. Depends on like the. I really like the fact that there's this creative spirit for people who do their art, and I really like following those people. And you clearly do actively work on your stuff, which is excellent. Thumbs up for that. So there's some better sounding instruments I got, personally, like the strings. But like the Unity engine for this game that is, I'm going to be adding this as a mod, these musics, they are also not upgraded. So I want to keep some of the sort of like, it's improved, but it's not like the super orchestral sort of way, if you get what I mean. Also, it saves me a bit of time. I have better strings for this. But it would like this originally. This is made for the MIDI language. As you can see, there's a lot of these different black things. If you can see them, actually, can you see? No, you cannot see. Why? You cannot see anything I'm doing. God damn, I forgot. I need to change the window always. Okay, so here is the song, as you can see. You could hear it, but you can see it. So there's a lot of these little language parts on the old MIDIs that we are opening that do not process. They process in technically or to the program, but they do not look very visually good, and it would take a lot of time for me to try to remove them all and do it otherwise. So we're going to be just doing them like this. I'm going to be very lazy with this, I tell you. But we're going to be making the whole thing in one stream. So I don't mind. I don't mind.
Aiko C. The internet connection is not always very nice, but Skype saves us all. But I am still less busy than before, which is normal. That is why I paint more actively.
I see, I see. Very good, very good. Good that, like, it's good that we can still have at the moment that people can work on their art. Like, there's some, like, in every negative, there's always something positive. There's always. Even though some things can be more negative than other things. Yes. So let me just save that one as a created thing. Very simple, and some people might say, like looking at my last stream, I think I was able to do better with the creating of the MIDI, but as we already have the MIDI, I'm going to be a lazy person today. Hopefully you don't mind. I myself, today, this week we're going to be doing streams every day, now again, and tomorrow I have not yet invented what we should do. Last week we did the Chinese studying, which was pretty fun actually, I have to tell you. And we shall see, do we do something similar at that as well. About this game, like, games like these are not created anymore. This game had few things I personally would like to see in modern games, which is the freedom and how it created the world. Of course, the original script on how they made the world were not the best, to be honest, because there was a lot of bugs, because that was made in 1996, you have to remember that. And only later on, when they have made the Unity port, which has no bugs at all, I presume, then it has kind of got its full potential back at it again, which is excellent, I tell you. And the full potential is that you can create a character and put it everywhere in this huge landscapes and kind of play. It's kind of a fantasy life simulator instead of an RPG with a story. It's like a fantasy life simulator, to be honest. And for that, I do like it. I do like it a lot. Because that ultimately means that, like, usually these, especially these game series, if I don't know, are you familiar with other Elder Scrolls titles like Skyrim and Oblivion? They went with the fact that when you had a character, they could only do certain types of things. Like, and they were very limited in terms of what they could do. This game was special. And we have some processing problems, as you can hear. Let's try again. And I'm going to upgrade that. That sounds terrible. Some of the instruments here are not the best ones. I need to be changing those. Yeah, I'm not going to be super lazy, but still. There needs to be a eluukkanen standard. We cannot just do whatever we wish. We need to do something that is good, hopefully. I personally want to see, hopefully, when it comes to... Let me see. Okay, that is cello. I have a few people in the eluukkanen community that I would like to help when it comes to growing their stuff. I'm currently, as you can see, as I'm doing the daily streams, I'm hoping to grow this, and I've already seen effect, which is pretty good. But also it kind of pays for the work for me. I do not feel as bad as I'm doing this on the mornings. It kind of feels on the good when I do it on the mornings, and less the rest of the stuff I leave it for the evenings. Because in the past I did the opposite, which was not good. Not good at all. And yeah, I'm gonna be changing a few of the instruments over here. I don't know, what do you know thoughts on the music itself? Personally, like, it's kind of lovely. It's not perhaps the...
Akosi.
I can understand...
You two are more fresh in the morning. Yes,
Yeah,
I
very
understand you completely.
Yeah, you are fresh in the... It's kind of, you know, you have more energy in the morning. It's like, I just woke up, so it's kind of a... It is very good to use that time for your advantage. Also, like, personally, my plan is to try to make these streams as much as possible for a moment. Because I've worked on a one channel before, and I already actively work on it, and I get paid for that. It's not my channel, it's not music connected, it's not eluukkanen connected. And I personally, like, I need to get enough these sort of like streamings in order to actually perhaps get something useful out of this. Of course, I'm not just trying to change the money. Instead, I'm like, I know that if I get this threshold in this streaming, like, I get more promoted and such, which is like at least my plan and such. But also the fact that I get more stuff done. That is the thing. The more I do, the more I get stuff done, which is the best thing. I personally have seen some of the people that actually do painting streamings and such as well, which is like, and it is very... Very simple stuff, but it creates the atmosphere in the game, because the game is of course very big, large, you have these pieces playing in the background, very lovely
Jimmy
indeed,
Hotajavi.
very lovely indeed.
Eluukkas is one of the more or not the most nicest platform I have visited. I am thinking of the people there and of course the creativity, the music sounds exciting magic.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Mornings are great.
Mornings are best for creativity, and I think the rest of the night, like, it should be, it's still a thing I'm trying to cope, trying to like understand fully, but it's that if you start your work in mornings and have the rest of the evening for like kind of leisure time, for your own leisure, I think it's good for you. You should always be productive on days you work on such, but if you have times that you have for resting as well, I think it's good. It's good for you. So the next one is kind of more... so these are sort of like atmospheric tracks. I don't know actually how they play in the game itself. I haven't played that yet. I want to play the Daggerfall Unity engine. I tried to play the original one back in the day, but it was not a success because of the fact that it's very buggy, and I noticed it. It is quite a buggy thing on the original creation. Now track 13, let me open it, and now let me make sure it's visually seenable by you, because I just noticed that last two ones I did not update, but now this is the visual stuff on this. Good, as you can see, it even moves. So that's what we're doing. We have made few tracks. We're going to be listening them afterwards. Hopefully something that you enjoy. And as you can see, I could be very lazy with these remakes on this side. Like, even you, if you would like to do this, you could go to Daggerfall site and download them. And probably if you put them more time, you could actually make them very good sounding. Personally, I do want to make this quickly done, because I want to share this for the community on there. That is my goal. Also, I don't want to just release anything. Like, I want to actually... It sounds alright. But still, the quickness is the goal of this stream, because I'm going to make the whole soundtrack on this very stream. from the midis. Okay, that was too loud, I tell you. That was a bit too loud. We need to change that fact. You know, because these are not balanced for the other instruments that are nowadays amongst us. Let us see. For some reason I cannot hear anything. Very weird. Well, let's begin in the beginning, I suppose. And I think at that point it's already very loud, so let me try to put it out a little bit, like this. Yeah, these are the markings that make them very loud indeed. Yeah, look, I hope it's going to get even better. I need to still build on it, the projects and such, and I know that, you know, some people might not get excited yet on some of the small payment projects that we are doing there, you know, the emoji stuff and such, because the sums are very small. Unfortunately, that's how I need to roll. Like, I tried to apply for...
I watch painting channels.
Oh, you
too.
watch those? Nice.
Most of the time, those
They are
painters
very
are highly skilled.
And
Morning are wonderful, I agree. Starry Nights 2
Starry
medium
Nights
white
are
star,
good,
medium
but I
white
think
star.
for relaxation. I personally believe that, like, even though you might not think you do not have, perhaps, like, I don't know, I'll talk about you, but some painters might think that they don't want to stream their process. I personally recommend for any art creator to do perhaps streams of themselves, because I personally noticed when I started, I got much bigger speaking skill. I'm able to speak much better. Hopefully, it is noticeable. Also, I'm able to be more productive, to be honest, when I do this sort of stuff, and it's very useful. I would recommend to anyone to try out streaming if you are art creator, right? Or somewhat. That's the problem. Like, as you can see, the volumes are not really balanced at all. As you can see, like that sort of stuff. So I don't know how this is going to go, but I think I'm going to be deleting all the balancing stuff from here, because it just kind of ruins the thing. As you could see, the volume changing is too much. It's just too much. And gladly this piece is not long. There's not many markings here. We're going to be hopefully getting this song better sounding without these markings. These marks usually like affect the volume, and there are these things that do not transfer very well when it comes to MIDI, some of the MIDI creation programs, unfortunately. So we need to, like, some of them are well made and fit very well, but these do not, so we need to change that. And let's listen from the beginning to see that effect. Problem also, as you can see, I cannot hear at all any of the other instruments. Like, I tried to change that a little bit. This is going to perhaps be one of the longest track we're going to be working on, because as you can see, there's a lot of stuff over here. So let's try to see, can we actually do some repeating patterns in here? I think we cannot. We have to just delete all these, yeah.
Jimmy Hotajavi. Cool, I think it's very fun to watch streams. It's amazing that people do it. I wonder, Elias, if you would choose a track of yours to be performed live, what would that be? Hard question, maybe winking smiley.
Might be a hard question. I personally have had live people show some of my work, perform them. But it always depends on the people that perform. Like, if it's an orchestra, I would have a different piece. If it would be a singing thing, it would be a different piece. The problem is, at the moment, I'm trying to build the sort of like economic side of this. Hopefully, it is actually possible to do. But if at some point I have enough economic stability, I would really much pay for real instrumental people to perform some of my stuff all the time. Like, not computer, or always just get rid of the computer middleman. That's the plan. But that you need to pay a lot for the instrumentalists to play your pieces. So I need to have projects first in order to do that. I personally would like to use a lot of violins, real violin players, and singers. I might actually, before I have other situation change, I very much could do it already.
Jimmy Hotajavi.
I would do...
That would dream-like thing.
It is a possibility thing, because I'm doing notation. I can actually alter my music easily to be performed. That's the thing. And I've done performations in the past, but they always focus on... Like, I think in Final Fallacy, if it works well, I will have some people to play on it, but it depends. It depends. Before that, however, I have a plan of doing this sort of barbershop with, like, my family, perhaps, like, my family, my father and my brother. We have done some barbershop singing, which is actually pretty fun. I have some plans on, not perhaps at the beginning for some of my music to be sung, but some of the music from games and doing that in barbershop style. The sad reality is that I have some of my own works, but before I really build them up, that people are interested about them, it's very hard to share them and really get to people know them, because of course they are unknown pieces. So I try to do project instead, at least in the beginning, to get my music head that way. That's the plan. That is the eluukkanen plan. Unfortunately, that is the reality of things.
Jimmy Hotajavi. I really like human playing. /O barbershop sounds exciting. You must having a lot of fun.
It is excellent. I like it very much. Humans are best when it comes to playing. That was too much. Let me still work on this a little bit, but yes, human connection, human playing, always outlast and preferable indeed. I don't like this. For some reason it changes the volume all the time. Alright, let me try to do something here. As you can see, it's not very good at the point. It's not really excellent at all. It's actually very bad. Very bad indeed. So let us try again, but listen again, and let's make it balanced. Human playing is fun, and hopefully that project is going to come at some point, but it's still going to take some time. I think it could actually work pretty well. I've seen some of those projects really get off the ground.
Akosi. How was your very first stream, Elias?
Oh, let me just listen this moment. I need it to be alright before I actually release it. Actually, we need something. But yeah, my first stream, man, it was terrible, I tell you. Like, if you look at me, I'm just like, hello, welcome to eluukkanen stream. Today we are like, it was terrible. It was terrible. I've actually developed a lot from that. Hopefully, yes. The thing is, it is, when you do everything first time, it's always a bit difficult, always. And you need to give some chance for yourself, like you don't take it too seriously and such. I personally would recommend streaming because for me it very much developed my English very well. That, you know, of course, some might say, I've still my brother who says like, your English, and then again, before this my English was not the best, so still, but that's of course brotherly help. That's how I would describe it. But that's part of it. Let me do one thing, because otherwise this ending is not really impressive, to be honest. Here we go. Let me add another timpani, which is much more stronger, and it does the timpani ending much better. Yeah, because this doesn't really do that, to be honest. How about you, Himihautar? You talked about human playing. I've heard that you have some projects that are actually human played. Can you tell? Or are they currently secrets? I've heard, like, I was very so happy to hear that you had some band projects going on. Big ones, if I remember right. Can we listen to this once again? Yeah, timpani, like very excellent. Alright, here we go. This piece is, I think, ready. Piece number 13. So we have some pieces ready. We are developing forward. Alright, get to say that. Hopefully it is enjoyable to watch as well. I don't really know, but we shall see. Now the next piece is number 14. We have a few pieces still left, but not that many. Actually 15. For some reason it skips 14. So this is the piece we're going to be working on right now. Let's add all the good stuff to it. All the good stuff.
Akosi. So I can say congratulations for your speaking skills.
Hey,
I personally enjoy
appreciate
your
it.
voice and your accent.
I
The harp part
appreciate
is
it. It is
clean.
kind of hey, I appreciate
Jimmy
it.
Hotajavi. I really like your way of speaking. There is a great style with it. Sounds exciting and fun to listen to. Little there a man who have been music active in the radio back in time but not anymore though.
Oh, really? But hey, thank you. Of course, I'm very honored of your sayings on my speaking skill. I need to still, of course, learn much more. My English is not the best. I've got, I appreciate all the support, of course. I appreciate it. The harp part is clean. Yeah, the harp is one of my favorite instruments when it comes to orchestra. Like you can do so much sort of beautiful things with it. Let's see. There been music made in radio back in the time. Not anymore though. Oh. Ah, I see. Did you say something that you had some kind of a project with some big band or something? A friend from school or something? I might be remembering it wrong. Sorry if that is the case. But now, let's get on to this. What are your thoughts about this sort of style? Because this sounds like if you look at old Hollywood films, this sounds like that. You know, they usually make like some kind of like a Spartacus movie or something like that. It's very similar to that sort of way of the music.
Akosi.
Yeah, I like this.
Wowsh, so good. Black sun with rays, black sun with rays.
Yeah, I like this one. We already made that. I think there's no much problem on it. Alright, let me save that. Very easy this one was, yeah. Ooh. Yeah, it sounds very lovely with the horns. I personally like the... there was this one subscriber of mine who said that I should get this program called Note Performer. I recommend to anyone to get this. It's excellent when it comes to horns. I personally think when it comes to computer sounds, the horns are wonderful with that. It costs around $100. But it plays well. It plays such well. I like it. But now, back to next thing. I have to tell you that I still very much love these sort of different accents of play. I personally want to speak when it comes to accents in the English accent. Hopefully it's somewhat understandable. Like, I don't know the Finnish accent when it comes to English. I suppose it's like a Finnish accent is like this. This is how we speak in Finland when it comes to English. This is how sort of like that. But there's still it's far from real English accent, to be honest. It still need to be performed, worked on. Alright, next piece is somewhat like that. We're gonna be doing that. Hopefully that works well. So, the number track is called 16 this time.
I maybe understand what you mean. It's his son who works at a studio. He will maybe help out, playing and record, studio work on some songs. / yeah, it sound nice. Finnish accent is lovely.
Finnish accent is very direct. Our country is of course not the perfect one, but usually our people here are very honest. Recently we have had some things that there's, especially under this corona thing, some companies have got public money for themselves because, you know, they say they are essential and this sort of like nasty things. We have still corruption in Finland, I tell you, like it's just much more sophisticated. It cannot be traced. It's very nasty, unfortunately. But yeah, we are. Well, that's the Finnish accent.
But that said, I am not in any big project.
Ah, I see. Alright, got it. Okay, but still, good to collaborate and be part of those sort of...
Well, you're talking about Finnish accent, but you heard mine face with tears of joy. I'm sure if you speak Finnish, I won't understand anything, but I would find it so cool. Same for you, Jimmy, for Swedish language.
Hey, but the different languages, I think there needs to be that. Like French language, there's place for French, beautiful language. And also, I have to tell you, like, I do like accents, like the French accent you got. It's very, I don't know. I personally, for some reason, you know, perhaps it's hard to explain, but I played this game at one time where there was these people that spoken with the French accent, and when I heard your accent, it was very similar to one of the game characters in that, and I was like, oh. So for some reason, it had that sort of effect on me. I don't know, but I really like accents. That's what I wanted to say. Or accents, they make the world better. I tell you, because different countries, they have their different feelings, they have their different histories, and the accent is that it describes it. Yeah, indeed.
Jimmy Hotajavi. Ako French is lovely also.
French is beautiful.
Languages is amazing indeed.
Style is very simple, but that's what it's supposed to be. So we got that created. Did we actually... yeah, I didn't actually share the window again. That's very good. That's very good of me. Good of me. Yes. And you can see my name in there. That's very nice. Alright. Let me just keep that black at least right now. That's not a secret, of course, everyone knows my name, but I don't know, for some reason it doesn't show the picture when it's supposed to. But anyways, I tell you, oh man, I want to say one thing about Swedish language, because I was forced to learn it in school. I was forced. That's why I personally do not have that much fascination for it. Like, I don't have anything against the Swedish language, hopefully you understand that, because thing is, when you are forced to learn something, you kind of start hating it, like, even though I should not. Sweden, some of the actions of some Swedish people do not reflect the whole Swedish people in general. So I should, of course, remember that. But unfortunately, that's just a thing that comes to my mind. So the next one,
Jimmy
number 17.
Hotajavi.
We have been doing quite a lot
I
of
get
pieces
what
so
you
far.
mean, smiling face with open mouth and tightly closed eyes. Elias, no worries. Jimmy Hotajavi. I am getting a guest here, I must leave.
Oh,
Great
guest.
to see you and good luck
That
with
is
the
very
work,
lovely.
Elias. /
Appreciate coming.
Ako C. Ha 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 ha, thank you both for the compliment, smiling face with open mouth and cold sweat. I did heard Swedish language in real life last year with a Swedish family I met.
Oh, really?
Jimmy Hotajavi.
They came to France.
Take care everyone, see you soon.
Appreciate coming here.
Ako C.
Take care, Jimmy, and see you
Jimmy.
next time.
Take care,
Hopefully
XX.
this was enjoyable and always a pleasure to talk with a Swedish person called Jimmy Hautajärvi. Yeah. I really like the surname he has, like the Hautajärvi. It's, I think, in Finnish origin, and he talked about how his family was kind of a mix of Swedish people and Finnish people, which is interesting to me. Take care, Jimmy. But yeah, but I do agree with the fact that what did you say? The compliment, yes, of course. I do believe French language is quite beautiful. It's very poetic, very beautiful language. And as we talked last time, you mentioned it could have become the international language. And it kind of is still somewhat. It's spoken in quite many places in Africa and such. It has its history. I kind of like that, but I need to better instruments for it. But now, We are doing many pieces so far, quite many in fact. I don't know how do I release these all. Do I release them one time or something? But we have quite many pieces here. That's for certain. The style, I don't know. Is it the one that you fancy? I personally have nothing really against this style, other than I personally do not listen it too much if I go and want to listen some things on my own. But still, there's some of the pieces with the horns sound very excellent, to be honest. Let's listen once again. Okay, problems. Let me listen again. So that's better sounding, I suppose, a little bit. But now let's add the horns in. The horns need to be large. I like this one. What was that? There was a problem in here. Yeah. There was a weird note in there. But now, gladly I fixed it. It sounded really bad, I think. Now better. So yeah, I think that sounds nice. That sounds a nice piece indeed. We have made 17 pieces so far.
The little Swedish son, who was 5, sang 2 lullabies in Swedish with me.
Oh!
I know 5 Swedish words, you how. Very, very shy little boy, but very sweet.
That's very cool.
Is that me, or your remake sounds like a battle music?
It kind of sounds somewhat, but this is kind of like a background music. Like you go to this very medieval village. What did you sing? Let me know. Oh man, that sounds very cute. Cute. Let's see. Like in Swedish, did you sing some kind of like a traditional songs or something like that? Who knows? Now the next piece is 18. We have still some pieces left. I don't actually know the exact amount, but there's quite a lot of them. This is sort of like a sea feel of it. 18. This sounds a little bit like Moomin music to me, this one that we're now going to be doing. Hopefully we're going to be picking some sea-oriented instruments over this. Let us see about that. That's very cool. I think it is beautiful. You can hear the beauty in it, the people's voices and such. It's excellent. It's excellent. But yeah, this is going to be muted, at least for now, because I don't have the sea atmosphere. Oh, I like this. Alright, let's see how does this sound.
Akosi. Blickalilist Jaradar and Broader Horub. The second one was pretty easy to sing, but Blickalilist Jaradar was quite delicate with the Prusiatios. I still can't pronounce the STJ sound.
Let me try to see. So, let's see. Blinka lilla stiernadar and Brother Jacob. Brother Jacob, Brother Jacob. Is that the one? Ah, lovely. Yeah, stjärna. It's stja, like S-T-G, like stjärna, if I remember. Blinka lilla stjärna där. Da 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 da. It might be cool to, at some point, if I develop enough with streaming, to do some of our singing stream with people that are somewhere else. Who knows? I've noticed that if I invite people to streams to do stuff with me that I have not streamed before, it is there's shyness in there, I think. But I really like this. Like there's this piano over here playing this thing. Yeah. This can be actually a very beautiful piece, but we shall see about that. Let's still begin. So what I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be changing two instruments, the piano and the crystal instrument. Alright, let's do it. So the piano is going to be a piano from here, which I really like. It's going to bring this sort of C vibe to it. And the next one is going to be a Kalimba as well, as we used the last part.
Actually the STJ is a whistling sound. Nice
really?
transverse flute.
Yeah, I like that. I really like that movement. Like, yeah, I haven't actually used that in my own pieces. I like how it's done here. Yeah, very lovely, very lovely. Flute, you can do that with flute, very lovely. In piano, I don't know. It could work, but I think with a melodic instrument, it's much more essential to have like that. And there always needs to be something basing it to reality, these other rhythms and other harmonies. I think in order to do that. Oh, I like that.
Akosi. I like that too.
I think we succeeded with this piece quite lovely. Yeah, we did it. So, like, the thing is, this is very quick because we have the midis already in place. And I didn't share the window again. Hey, Matzy boy, good to see you. We are remastering music for Daggerfall. Are you familiar with that game? And I think with this piece succeeded pretty lovely. Yeah. How are you doing, Matzy boy? We have Aiko here from France. Very, she sung some Swedish songs with Swedish people last year. And yeah, the whistling sound, I don't know about that. Is it like a really whistling sound, I suppose? I might not be very good at pronouncing that then. Is there whistling in Swedish when you talk? I don't know. I have no idea. I really didn't study too much on
How are
Swedish.
You doing?
I'm doing actually very fine, thank you for asking. We are doing songs for Daggerfall, the whole soundtrack. We have done quite a lot actually, because we already have the midis in place. I'm a composer from Finland, and that's what we do. Yesterday we did stream some Dark Souls. Today we stream
I could try to reproduce it, but it's better to ask Jimmy, smiling face with open mouth
we have
and
to ask
cold
Jimmy
sweat.
for that. He can do it. If, of course, as a Swedish person, he knows that from inside out, of course. Of course, of course. But hey, where are you from, Matzy boy? This might be your first time in eluukkanen stream. Hopefully not the last. Of course, it depends on my quality on stream and do enough good streaming. Indeed. Now, let's try to see the pieces. Are they actually good in format if I open them to Audacity and listen them? Let us see about that. We might not make them good, but we have to try.
Matsaboy. Norway.
Norway! Oh, nice. Actually, I've won 2 friends from Norway. And, you know, a lovely country with a lot of these mountains and snow around. Of course, a very rich country as that as well. Many people from Finland go to work to there because they get much better pay. So that's about that. We are doing this music for
a lot of North people.
Northern people, yeah. I have a huge camaraderie with these northern people, I tell you. Thing is, here, we are doing a pieces for Daggerfall. I don't know, are you familiar with the game, but it's, if you know Skyrim and Oblivion, it was kind of a predecessor for those.
Can you play guitar?
Actually, I'm very bad in guitar playing. I can make music for guitar, but I have... that is a skill I do not really know yet. I've been practicing. I've been playing piano for many years, though. That is what I know. I think that piece went very well. Okay, next one is called 20. Another city feeling track. And we're going to be making this better. We're going to be improving this.
Cool.
Yeah, this is becoming cooler because we are doing the whole soundtrack for it. The thing is, I usually, by listening, I make the song notes, which are basically the MIDIs that you can see in front of you. Let me actually share them to you. But we are very lucky to have them already made because the original soundtrack was in MIDI format. So we have a very fast time actually remastering these to the end. As you can see, here we go. And are you familiar with Skyrim as a game and these Elder Scrolls games? Or do you fancy any other game franchises? Because we do remaster music over here. We have remastered for quite so many franchises. If you want to see more of those, I recommend to check out eluukkanen in YouTube. I very much recommend that. Also, we have had a discussion with Aiko here on language and the feel of them. Very lovely discussion. But good to see you, good to see. I'm from France and Norway. Currently people watching. Very, very great.
Aiko C. Skyrim. I have heard of Skyrim, but I don't really know this game.
Because this is the thing. Elder Scrolls is a series and Skyrim is the latest release in that series. However, in 1996 the same studio made a game called Daggerfall, and it's essentially Skyrim but before Skyrim. And it has a different land, it had different sort of places and such. So the baseline is from there. That is the thing. And this game, made in 1996, was similar. You could make your own character, be in this world and such and such and such. Not of course that much known game because it had very simple graphics and such. And only lately it has been really playable because of a Unity port that we are currently making music for. This is the goal of our for today. And actually these musics are becoming really lovely, to be honest. I tell you.
Matsaboy. I am not so good at English, but I hope you understand.
Hey, no worries. Like me, Aiko is from France, and I'm from Finland. Native language is not English is not a native language for both of us. So I do perfectly understand. I have nothing against that. Actually, nothing at all. I'm actually very fascinated on the Norway, like the differences between Swedish, Norway language and Norwegian language and Danish language. Like, they are very similarly sounding, but of course very different languages. I'm very fascinated on those. Are you familiar yourself with these Skyrim and these games? Of course, very northern feeling lands in those games, you can hear.
Matsaboy. Do you play Fortnite? Aiko C. I am fascinated by Scandinavian and North countries, really black heart.
Actually haven't played Fortnite. Some of my subscribers said that I should, something like that. Perhaps in the future we might. I know this one person that is has been on the streams before, and I follow his channel as well, called Surge3, and he plays quite a lot of Fortnite. I recommend to check him out if you are into Fortnite yourself. I don't know, can you find him in D-Live though? But at least in YouTube you can. He does some Fortnite videos. I'm fascinated by Scandinavian North countries, really. I think the fascination... The thing is, the sad thing is, I think... Like, it's very lovely to see this fascination. But I think, especially Finland, because of the history, it has been kind of overlooked. I personally follow this series called Civilization. This game that you can play in every civilization there is. Sad thing about this is that because Finland was, and that's historically true, it was an ally of Nazi Germany at least one time, and not because of their interest for it. Like, there was not really interest to be an ally of that country, but because the Soviet Union was attacking us, we had to ally with someone, and I think that has very much destroyed the reputation in even the modern times of Finland. And essentially, what historians here say, it was like a choice between a devil and Satan. To be like, the thing is, if we would have not had any allies in that time, we would have been destroyed, and you wouldn't have Finland at all. The thing is, and that's the reality of things, and that's because we have had very, very bad time in current times of the world and such. And there's this Civilization game that I haven't actually made as a playable civilization because of that, I believe. That's a strong belief, because I've seen Poland, Denmark, Norway, every country except Finland. I've even seen Indian, American, Native American nations that definitely didn't actually reach space age, to be honest. So that's that. The historical things kind of are in the way of that, unfortunately. And that had to be made, because we could not have any allies at that time. I read about history of Finland. That there was actually a big support from British when it came to Finland, and also from France when we were doing independence. But because of the fact that some of our government at that time did not some bad things with its foreign policy, we lost those we lost them as an allies. So that was very nasty, and they did not really support us when it came to the war times. Unfortunately not. So we got a track called 20 done, indeed so, and you could see that even here. Nice. Now, next piece is 21.
Matsaboy. I can invite my friends to you stream thumbs up sign, and I can try to gift you.
Thank you.
And what the time for you? Grinning face with smiling eyes.
if you talk about the Fortnite thing, yeah, it's going to be. I'm not going to be doing it yet. I want to try it out. My computer is potato though, but I've been having this sort of disdain for that game because I thought like, hey, everybody plays it, and I'm just like, ugh. But I had this Search 3. I look at his channel, and actually it looks pretty fun, even though it is this sort of like shooting game I personally do not play too many of. But still, I have to say, like, I can understand why people do like that game and play it a lot. Yes, indeed. I cannot just be looking down for that sort of success. So now, piece is called 21. We have still a few pieces to go, but 21 is the next one. Hopefully, an enjoyable track. It's sort of like a serene background sort of feel of it, yeah. There's a lot of cranes outside of my window. I don't know, can you hear them? But they are... Perhaps there's some kind of a mating season for going for them or something. Who knows? Birds are very lovely in a sense that many of them have this sort of like they go in winter to the east, south, and then they come back in the summertime. And I think this is the time they are coming back, which is very exciting for me. I haven't actually witnessed this in the countryside because in the past, at this time, I was always in the cities. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Seeing some new people, Matsi boy. Very good to see ya. Do you yourself play a lot of this game called Fortnite? Let me know. It was actually interesting, to be honest, just outside of this music thing. There was this game, Fortnite. Before that, there was this Battlegrounds gold game. And when I was in army, people were very excited about that. When people were like... People were in my army, when I was in army, like, oh, this Fortnite and all that talking. I was like, It's still very popular, I see. That's a problem. Let me try to erase that part. Yeah, we are currently making music. Do you have any favorite music of yourself, Matsi boy? Matsi boy, like Matsi, sounds like a match in Finnish language. Matsi, match. Sounds like that. By the way, Aiko, are you still there? Because I wanted to ask, in the stream we did some times ago, I think you already left, unfortunately, that stream, because there was this, someone asked you to create an owl painting in there. Hip-hop and bass songs, alright. Perhaps not, perhaps this sort of songs that we are currently remastering over here, but probably not that sort of songs. Personally, I haven't actually done hip-hop music. It would be at least different to do that. But of course, for hip-hop, you need a singer for that. I don't have a hip-hop singer as a friend, unfortunately. For some reason, it's very quiet. But let me just save some time to do one thing here, because I cannot do this forever. But hey, appreciate it for coming here, a new person with hip-hop and bass songs interest. I personally cannot say I'm a fan of... I do not listen too much of that music. But I cannot say it's bad music in its own. Like, there can be very good bass and hip-hop artists over there. I personally had one co-worker in our last place where I worked at, and he listened a lot of hip-hop music there. And yeah, and he talked about it, and I was actually very interested to hear about the hip-hop and this sort of like why it is good, the lyrics, and this sort of like reflection of on how people feel, and the sort of like these very direct emotions and such. It's very humane, and I do like that fact. Yes, indeed. So let us put the volume in there and listen it.
My hobbies is go at skis and play video games and drive tractor. Aiko C. What do you consider as bad music? Hip-hop is not the music genre I hear every day.
Yeah, hip-hop is something that I do not too much hear as well. Are you hobbies? Are you do skiing? Oh yeah, you have very great mountains for that in there, I tell you. Great, beautiful mountains. And video games as well, I see. Well, video games is a good hobby, of course, depending on... Like, there can be good or bad video games, I tell you. I don't know about Fortnite, but I will try that out at some point, I tell you. If you can play that, at least with PlayStation, I could actually try that out. But when you say about bad music, that's actually a good question. I personally think lazy music. Like, if you ask me, personally, I hate this modern music. Like, and if I talk about modern music, I don't mean music that is made in nowadays. I mean,
is a genre that disappear little by little.
It kind of does.
True? I think hip-hop music was popular in the 80s, 80s and early 2000s. Matsuboy.
Ah, you're 30 years old.
I am 13 years old.
I'm 23.
How old are you?
23 is my age at this point, indeed so. Been working many years when doing music and such. I do remember when I was 13 years old, I did play a lot of games. Might be different from 13 years of old of nowadays. Indeed so. But yeah, good to have some young fellows over here as well. Do use a lot of D-Live. But yes, I tell you, like, the bad music, the modern type of music, like, this sort of tries to be artistic but has no actually good qualities of it. That's very bad.
Fortnite are free on Xbox, PC and PS4.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That is one of the reasons I will be very much eager to try it out, indeed. At some point, not yet. Perhaps in the weekend that could work. We have to see. I will have to download it. I don't know how big file it is. But hip-hop, I think it's still going okay. It's not mainstream anymore. But it is somewhat... people do play it. People do listen it. I know many people who do. And the good fact, if you are 13 years old and you listen that, it's very alive and well, I believe. Classical is much more niche type of music.
Matsuboy, can you play your music? I want to hear.
My music? I will can play some of it. Let me try to open a page. Always, also, I don't know, do you use YouTube much, but you can find some of my pieces when it comes to YouTube. Here I put all of the stuff in, indeed. Hopefully you enjoy. It's in many different styles. Let me actually post a link to you.
Are you talking about those electronic musics that are repetitive?
Not only electronic music, but also in orchestral music. I've seen so many of these. They try to be artistic, but then they like you don't even know. This is the worst type of stuff. Like, in academies, they get a lot of money out of this because the government pays them. Nobody goes to listen to this music at all. Nobody, I tell you. But, like, there's this music that there's piano, and they actually, like, play random notes, and there's no meaning for them. They just play random notes like this. Like this, really, like this. And it's terrible. It sounds like a nightmare. And for some reason, this music gets all the money and the support from our government and other governments as well in these academic places. But no one goes to listen to them, I tell you. But hey, thanks for Matsi Boy to asking of that. So this is the link. I don't know, do you get that in D-Live? But that's my YouTube link. You can listen to some of the music on there.
Ha ha, you are funny.
Yeah, but that's the reality of it. I tell you. Like, that's how they do it. And then there are these, like...
Welsh, yes. Not
very nice music at all. It's like someone's mad dream. It's... I don't get the mechanics of that. How does brains of those people work? It's terrifying. It's such a terrifying type of music, and yeah, it has to be changed. I tell you at some point. But that's what our academy is, and every country, even in France, I know it for the fact. In Finland, it's terrible. In Norway, even, I bet it's in there as well, some form. But in Finland, it's terrible. I know these people who play violin. Like, for many years, they are professional, and they are forced to play that screeching music every day. Ugh. And I bet you, none of you would like to listen it even for a few seconds. And I had to go to concert at some point of my education to listen to that.
Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I tell you. I would laugh as well, but it's so terrifying, I tell you. Like, it's not beautiful at all. It's not beautiful. Now we are doing a song that is called... Or did we actually put this one already in? Actually, we didn't. Let me process that. But let me know your favorite hip-hop songs. Also, Aiko, if I remember right, you mentioned something about... Actually, have I asked of your music interest before? If you haven't, perhaps I've forgotten. But please let me know. What did you say were your music interest?
Yeah, sounds like that can be a turn off.
Man, it's like someone's mad. I tell you, like, before, like, I can try to explain it. I want to do a video about it at some point, because I think it's something that normal people don't like, and regular people and people like just listen good music. They don't understand that that's a thing that is happening. It's this sort of hidden from plain view, like it's in the side of these academic halls, and it's terrifying. This should be stopped. No, someone should be just go there and stop it. But yeah, it gets old. It's terrible. It's terrible. So that's about that rant. I will do a video about it at some point, because it's terrifying. It's happening in here. But now 22 is the next song we're going to be working on. Very similar to something that we already had, but we are going to continue our Daggerfall adventure. I haven't actually heard of the music that was in these Fortnite sort of games. I don't know, is Fortnite really known of its music, but I haven't actually heard any Fortnite music before at all, to be honest. But yeah, Aika.
Wait one second, I can subscribe at your YouTube
channel. I appreciate it very much. We do streams here every day. In weekends we're going to be playing games, but normal weekdays we're going to be working on music and other things as well. So hopefully you enjoy. There's all type of content over there. Hopefully that is something you enjoy. For different tastes.
If you want your ears to die, come to South France and listen to Fun Radio.
Fun Radio? What's that?
I swear this radio is lethal.
Oh, it's like you listen it one time and then you drop dead, like. Wow, how is that bad music? Or do you mean like is it bad or not? Let me know. We're doing another song. We still have few songs to go, but so far we have done 20 songs ready, which is pretty good. Thanks for being here, watching our progress. Hopefully this music is somewhat lovely to listen to as well. Who knows? It depends. It's like this sort of like old Hollywood music. Imagine this was made in 1996. Much like I was not even alive back then, you know, let alone Matsi Boy and you know, and this sort of like it was made so long ago. This sort of music, so many years ago, back when the world was yet young. There was no Fortnite, there was no internet connections and such.
Do you have a gaming PC?
I don't have a gaming PC, I have to admit. Like, I want to purchase perhaps at some point. It just it costs quite a lot, I tell you. I do play a lot more in PlayStation, to be honest. I do want to keep my work computer, which is the computer I'm use, kind of separate from the PlayStation I got, which is like the Play Essentials thing.
The sound is terrible. Electronic sound is not enjoyable. It is brutal, and the lyrics leave a lot to be desired.
I have also heard that sort of music, but I would prefer that, to be honest, compared to that modern classical, goddamn new age music. Like, oh, it's bad. But that might be bad as well. I have been in some concerts that have been just some random factory noise, and you say that to be music? Not a chance. Not a chance. Ugh. Gives me nightmares. To be honest, if there is a hell, I think that sort of modern music, electronic music, is played there all the time. That's why I really don't want to go there, to be honest. Yeah. Alright.
Aiko C. High grinning face with smiling eyes.
But that's how it goes. That's how it goes. There's no soul to it. There's no meaning. There's a qua in here. Oh, we got ourselves a qua. Let's add that in. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. But yeah, that's how it. That's how I feel, and that's we need to make sure there's better music out there. I know many music artists. I don't actually know many hip hop artists and such, but I know many electronic artists. I know many jazz artists, and they should deserve more space on like to be heard. Like I was part of this sort of big SoundCloud community back in the day. I know there's a lot of different styles of music in SoundCloud, but like. I tell you, there's some very good ones in there that are not listened in any big radio stations because they are individual artists, they are small artists. And I'm not talking about myself, I'm talking about like very, very small artists that are like, that make excellent music. I tell you, one of the best I listen to, these sort of atmospheric, beautiful tracks, and they don't get the big companies do not notice them at all because they don't do the sausage factory music. The music that is heard in every radio station. I think in every style there can be greatness in it. And that's why I do want to listen different styles. Of course, I do prefer listen some over others, but that's just how preferences work. That's just how humans function. But now we are doing a track called 22. I don't actually, you cannot see it. You cannot see it. Yeah, of course, I forgot to put that here. Good. 22 it is. I'm deleting a lot of these trash things over here, which are not very useful, because these make the song bad. They make they affect the audio on the volume side of things, and we need the volume to be specific. Otherwise, this song is going to be terrible, and we don't want that. Hopefully you enjoyed these Daggerfall themes with me here. So far, so good. We have still some process to go, but not that long, to be honest. We have streamed around how much minutes? 1 hour and 50 minutes. Long time on working songs, but we've done some good stuff over here, and we're going to be listening all these. Okay, so there's still a few numbers here to delete. Unfortunately, this is the slow way, but unfortunately the slowest around here. When it comes to gaming PCs, I have this friend who purchased like these just basic parts of the computer, and they cost like $700. And man, I don't have that much of income to really put, at least right now, to like just on few computer parts that amount of money. Like it's not an investment worth yet. Like I'm not a gaming channel, so I don't want to invest that much on it.
ACOC.
Some channels, of course, they are.
These
they
times, I listen a lot to early 2000s Z-rock music. Feeling so old, smiling face with open mouth and
2000s
cold
music,
sweat.
like there has been some kind of change in that. Like it seems like 2000 music afterwards it has been lazier because of the big companies have taken over the music industries. Of course, at that time they still had, but they gave freedom to individual artists. And after that, I think that because everyone had to be like they could actually technically see how long people could listen to songs, and that's why the commercial people would just come in and steal everything. I actually like this one. I like the kind of medieval feeling. This is very different from Skyrim music. This is very different to Skyrim music, I tell you. Steve S, hello, bro. Another new fella on the D-Life side of things. How are you doing? Good to see ya. It's actually very fun to meet new people in D-Life side of things. Good to see ya. Steve S, have we seen each other before, or are you of new face to the stream? Let me know. Let me know. Good to see ya. Thanks for the emojis. Very much appreciate that. But now we continue the music on a game I bet none of you actually know. I will give you the greatest honor of the land if you actually know anything about Daggerfall. Of course, the people that I already told what the Daggerfall is, they know. But are there actually newcomers like Steve S? Do you know what is Daggerfall? I bet you none of you know. It's a kind of like a mystery. It's a very old game. It's from 1996. It's before 2000s. Imagine that. These are the music that we are currently putting in and remastering. As you can hear, this is the original track, but now we're going to be remastering it, making it even better. We have done that to many songs now, but now this one is the next one. Indeed so. Unfortunately, those do not zoom in very much on these things, unfortunately, the comment section. But yeah, thanks for the emojis. How are you doing? Good to see you. Where are you from? Last person who came was from Norway, indeed. A land of mountains, big mountains. Here we go. 23 is our next track on the line. So let us make sure it is very excellent sounding. Only few tracks remain. Very few.
St_S. Chest open BRO.
Chest open. This is just the kind of a shirt I have. It's very cold outside in Finland, you know. There's a shirt over here. Yeah, indeed. So not really open, to be honest. What's actually it called? Oh, let me see. What's the shirt called? Like, I'm from Finland. I don't know every word. So like, let's see. I have. I essentially. God damn it. I have a sweater on. This sort of jersey sweater. Very, very. Like, I need this because it's very cold outside. It's still -Celsius. In Finland, in some places like France, like those people, they have like warm weathers and such, and we have to really go. It's cold over here, so yeah, unfortunately.
Akosi. The harp part is pleasurable.
I think it sounds very lovely. So we did this piece really nice. Very simple pieces, but we were able to do it. A very short time notice as well. 23! And the next song on the list, I think might be 5. No, there's still 2, 1, 2, 3 tracks, right? 3 tracks. This is the second one, called 25. Yeah, they don't have many creative names, but the music has to be creative. That is the main thing. Let us see. 25, Open Sesame. Glad you like the music. It's still, of course, not all of them is ready. We still need some work on it. So far, so good. So far, so good. What are your plans today, Aiko, to do? Are you going to paint more? You are still waiting for the painting to be dry. Let me know. Also, Stias, do you have any plans for today? And others. I have some plans for working today after this stream. Of course, I'm a bit hungry. I haven't eaten yet quite long time. Oh.
Akosi. Drying painting process. Our Ulrich so impatient smiling face.
Do you have
with
this sort
open
of
mouth
room
and
that you
cold
actually
sweat.
can easily dry the painting? Let me know, do you have that? Because in my old school, when I did some painting in there. Of course, I know, as a part of the art classes, nothing too interesting. There was this room for whole drying process. There was a lot of ventilation in there. Do you have that sort of same thing? Or do you dry it in front of the sun or something like that? Let me know. You mentioned it's rainy there. Yeah, so really cannot do that. And I don't know, is it actually very healthy for the painting itself? So still a few songs needed. This is the next one. Called 28. Very dark and eerie
Akosi. Oh no, we don't have that. Normally, I use the sun, but it's raining today, haha.
Yes. But I've also heard that the sun can kind of damage it, if I remember right. I might be wrong, of course. So let me try to find something, a beautiful bad instrument over here. Something that is very, very lovely sounding. Something like this we could use. Actually, we need to something more brighter. No, that is very electronic sounding, I can tell you. I need something that is very airy and glowing and this sort of feel. I like that. I think we could actually use that for this one. So, next track, ongoing. Very simple, but we need to keep them simple in order to do this, do all of the tracks ready. But we have only few tracks remaining, so we are doing good process so far, I think. Next track on the line, I think that might be the second last, is 29. Tracks are very similar to each other, but of course some of them are dungeon tracks, some of them are village tracks, they're different types of tracks. So let's open this like this. Here we go. Let's stop the process and listen the song itself now. Let me cancel the process over here. There's food tracks. So we have food tracks remaining. Wish us luck in creation of that. Hopefully you have enjoyed these medieval feels so far. So far, so good. I actually have no idea how many people that are aware of this soundtrack actually are watching right now. Who knows? There might be 0 or there might be actually few ones. Who knows? But if so, let me know, because I'm actually interested on of your thoughts, if you have those, on how we succeeded, if so, on your mind. Waiting for the process to fail. So the last track, second last track, here we go. It needs to load. It needs to load, of course. Again, let's try again. Let me do one thing here. Cello doesn't sound good, so we need to fix that. Go to strings.
Kyle Downey.
Cello.
Awesome to see you working on this
Hey,
again.
Kyle Downey!
I
Good
reached
to
out
see you.
to you before.
Ah, yes, I've actually, I do remember you, I suppose. Yes, good to see. Hopefully you are enjoying the pieces that we're currently making for the Elder Scrolls Daggerfall. We have been streaming for 2 hours, and soon I'm going to be showing all the process that we have done. We have done all the MIDI tracks and made them a bit better than they originally were. So we're going to be listening those. Hopefully you're going to enjoy that session. How's your day going? Can you share some information? We have had people from Norway and other places, France and Sweden, to join our ranks and really talk about them, about music overall in general.
Kyle Downey. It sounds great.
I think this sounds
I'll
nice.
keep you on in the background.
Appreciate
Just
it.
trying to enjoy quarantine.
How can you actually enjoy it in a sense? Of course, you were playing games, doing some hobbies that you could perhaps before do. Do you have that? Do you have that sort of like, can you do some stuff that have you not done in the past? I mean, no, of course, it's not a nice situation, I tell you, but at least, like, even
Kyle
in
Downey.
all the sad situations, you can do
Exactly.
quite beautiful things, yeah. Even if it's not the nicest of
AOC.
situation.
Yes, it sounds
Lovely.
medieval.
Good to hear that you like. Good to hear that you enjoy. Kyle, were you the one? Sorry if I remember wrong. Please, I'm sorry if I remember wrong. But were you the one that you mentioned that your father was under the quarantine situation in different place? If so, I'm very sad. If I remember right, sorry if I remember the wrong. It's my memory, it is, especially when it comes to people coming to streams, I always hear the same voice message female sound, so sometimes hard to connect, and my apologies for that. Hopefully you don't mind. But if was that the situation? Hopefully that is better. So now we got ourselves a song ready. Are you actually familiar with Daggerfall?
Kyle Downey. No, that was not me,
Ah,
but
sorry
that's
about
all
that.
right. I sent the email that was too long, about your first release.
Email, you say? Is it with your same name? Let me actually see it. Like, this is the thing. Recently, the Gmail thing, if you have sent me mails on that, it has recently not informed me of all the mails I've got. Like, seriously, this is I'm very outraged on this, because emails should be that I should always receive every single email. And, yeah, I'm very angry about that. I personally am very angry about that. Because if someone contacts you, and I always want to answer every single email, and sometimes I
Kyle Downey.
don't get that.
Don't worry. It was before the holidays,
Before
actually.
the holidays. Let me try to open the window on that and see that. What was that? If I have I seen it? God damn. I personally don't like that, and I've noticed it. It's not just a kind of a feeling I have, because I usually watch emails a lot. I read emails, and there's of course many spam things from other sites, but I do want to read emails, because I think that if someone takes time to actually write to you something, you should answer that. Man, that's not good. That's not good. If I have missed that, for whatever reason.
Kyle Downey.
Let's see.
Ha. Don't worry. You responded at the time, and all was well.
Oh, okay. Let me see. Sorry, my memory is very hazy, especially from the Christmas times. This year, especially with this virus situation and such, has been quite a drastic one. Let me try to open this message over here. Kyle and Dove. Nay? Do you have your own name on that? No message has been found. Anyways, I cannot find your message in here for some reason. Doveney. Kyle Doveney. Yeah, I cannot really find it, unfortunately. It should be all this. Very
Kyle
weird.
Downey. Oh well.
That is very weird. Do you remember the name of that email? If you know that, please, if you can. Sorry to kind of doing this sort of thing. If that's not important, hopefully.
Whiskers.
Whisper
Fashionably
Whiskers.
late today.
Hey, fashionably late is better late than never.
Kyle Downey.
Indeed.
Just make the music. I'm happier to see that.
Sorry if I'm just confused on the file. Like, I cannot find the message on there. Let me try to find it on the. Did I respond to it? If I did respond to it, then I can actually check it out easier. Hey! Whisper Whiskers! Good to see you. How are you doing? So let's see.
Kyle Downey. No, you're fine.
You're fine, let's see.
Happy smiley.
Matt Wow, Elokas, no, not that one, not that one. So was it in Christmas time or something? Chris, Stephen, Jiffle, no, hit intro, no, Munja. I don't get it. Anyways, hopefully I will be able to find it later on. But yeah, unfortunately I couldn't find it right now for some reason. Even if on my replies, I don't know about that. That was weird. That's very weird. That's very weird. But we are doing
Kyle
some Daggerfall music over here.
I don't mean to distract you, lol.
Of course.
Kyle Downey. It's totally okay.
So let's get back on business. Sorry about that. I usually want to respond on all the things, but now let's get back to work. We've been doing Daggerfall music from 1996. Are you familiar with it? Perhaps you are, perhaps you're not. We are going to be listening all the pieces that we actually did today, and yes, we did many pieces today. Not just one, not just two, but many, because we have already the MIDIs here from the old game. These are the MIDIs from the old game, and for some reason nobody has remastered these in the past at all. Usually when you have MIDIs, usually many people have already made remasters from them, but now nobody has. So I'm very lucky, I tell you. This is the piece we're going to be doing. So let's see how do we fare in the medieval world of Daggerfall. Let's put like these dots on here and try again.
Wispy Whiskers.
With bigger volume.
May I suggest a composition for a later date?
Hey, please do. I'm open for ideas. If you have any ideas, I'm very eager to hear them actually.
Wispy Whiskers. Well then, how about smooth jazz?
Jazz, you say? So you say smooth jazz, eh? That might be actually interesting. Haven't done smooth jazz in a while. We could try that. Jazz is quite difficult as a music style to be done, but we could try that. We could definitely do and test it out. One problem on this piece is the tiger drums. They do not... They have this sort of like a weird feel on them. I need to change the instruments on that. Otherwise very good. Otherwise very good. We could try that. Let's try that next Friday. And I might not succeed. I might succeed. Jazz is very hard as a style for me. I haven't actually mastered it too much yet, but will take some time, but I think we're able to do something. I will be listening to some smooth jazz pieces this week, and next Friday, let's do some smooth jazz, eh? We could do that. The thing is about this is that jazz is usually something I've noticed. I've released some of the jazz pieces to YouTube, and many people do not listen to them. That's the thing. Many people do not, from at least people who listen many jazz music I do. That's why I'm being kind of away from that thing.
Hi people, face throwing a kiss. Jazz is hard to play and to compose, I imagine.
Indeed, but I think it's possible.
But it is a beautiful music genre.
Now we got this. Alright, we got some pieces done, and this piece is now officially, at least when I'm concerned, done, because we have already used 2 hours and 15 minutes on this. Let's listen to songs that we actually remastered very easily and kind of lazily, to be honest. But still, we remastered them. we did pieces for Daggerfall, and the good thing we already had the MIDIs, so we didn't need to actually produce the MIDI ourselves, which is excellent. Let us listen from some few of the pieces from this, and let me know what are your thoughts on music of Daggerfall. Let me actually open some footage from Daggerfall, the game, and let me know what your thoughts are from it. Daggerfall gameplay. So let's see, does it fit the style that we're actually trying to find this on? So let us see, Daggerfall gameplay. Are you familiar, Whisper Whiskers, with Daggerfall yourself? It is kind of a niche thing. It is kind of a niche thing. Let me see. Here we go. We are in the dungeon area. Let me open the window so that you can actually see it yourself. Brave Elder Scrolls. Here we go. Ooh, this is the old game that it is, Daggerfall. It is kind of like this 2D, 3D thing. In 1996, this was the biggest thing ever. So we're going to be having that as background as we're going to be listening to music.
Never heard of it, unfortunately.
Ah, really? Well, this might be the first time. First time.
Trophy, congratulations.
Nice!
You've received 100 messages today with Restream Chat.
Unfortunately, I cannot turn that off for some reason, but still. Never heard of it. It's a game of Elder Scrolls series. It is.
I found this stream from your link on the Daggerfall Unity subreddit.
Oh, you did find from there. Oh, nice. The thing is here. Daggerfall is a predecessor for Skyrim. I think many people here know what Skyrim is. So this is one of the things that was part of that series in the past, 1996. These are the music that we have currently produced for it. Let's listen each individual ones. So yeah, something like that.
Daggerfall is essentially Elder Scrolls.
Indeed. Very early on that, and the Unity version is interesting because I want to try it out. It has not much bugs, and it is this procedurally generated world. Very interesting, in fact, very large. So I want to try that. I want to see that in effect. We shall see how possible is that with when we try out. Thing is, this is a song I did before the stream, and this is my favorite, actually. There's one I liked, actually, we made on this stream, but I really like making this one.
Kyle Downey. Daggerfall Unity runs great.
Oh, I want to see that at one point. We could actually do a stream of that. We could do, if there's interest for that. I personally like these sort of RPG games quite a lot. You can make your own characters and such.
Wispy Whiskers. Oh, I see. Elder Scrolls I do know, though not too familiar.
So that's one of the pieces again. That's two pieces. But the Elder Scrolls, that's the series. Unfortunately, the Elder Scrolls as a series in itself, it kind of steered away from this big open world things. And if you have seen Daggerfall, it has the most complicated dungeons, most interesting way of how it actually creates its dungeons. And this is a thing I want to implement in like some of the elements from this game to a game I'm creating. The dungeons and the world, it's random generation. Some of it's actually pretty interesting.
This sounds great. I've played a lot of Daggerfall and this sounds very fulfilled.
I'm very happy on that. We also made some dungeon tracks. Can we find them? I really like making this one. That's this sort of like a weird and dungeonous music. The original soundtrack was it's very different from the Jeremy Souls of today. Jeremy Soul of today is very atmospheric. This is very like Hollywoodish, medievalish sort of feel, plus the dungeons are very terrifyingly sounding. Yes. So that's one of them. Next one is this one. Another dungeon theme. This time just like piano, individuals, very simple sound. Creating this atmosphere.
Kyle Downey. Well, I think you actually nailed it.
Hopefully the community in there is going to like this. I'm going to actually make a mod about this. I messaged to the creator of the Daggerfall Unity and he liked these pieces and told me how to do a mod. I've never actually done a mod myself on any of these games. So we shall see how I'm able to do that. But I think people hopefully like this. Because I want to play this game. I plan to play and see how this whole thing... I've seen many videos on it. But I just noticed that the music is not yet in how it could be. I personally think it could be. And let's see some of the other pieces that we did.
Kyle Downey. Oh. Modding the music is one of the easiest things to do in Daggerfall Unity, actually. You're in luck.
So do you mean it's like, you know, just you put the mod files in and that's it, nothing else? If so, I can do that easily. I can actually do it very quickly, yes. Hopefully, at some point this, perhaps tomorrow, or, yeah, I could actually do that very easily if that's the way it does work. Yeah. I'm happy on that. I've seen some of the other mods in there, like actually
Kyle
other
Downey.
Random generation
Almost
things.
that simple, I think, yes.
Okay, it's like the modding for Age of Empires, kind of similar. Just putting the files in, I suppose. I like the dungeon. It's very minimalistic, some of the dungeon musics over here. It's going to be very terrifying going in these big dungeons with these music, hopefully. That's the idea. Kali Davni, how have you actually played a lot of Unity? Like actually, as you found this on the Unity Reddit, have you played it a lot? Yes, again that instrument. Another of these sort of village themes and such. Very, very lovely sort of world themes they are. And the next one.
Kyle Downey. Yes, Daggerfall Unity runs very well. I haven't beaten it, but it's definitely way better than playing the original version.
Definitely, I tried that. It's a buggy mess, I tell you. It's the original one. But can you actually defeat that game? I think it's like, you know, even if you finish the main story, you can still do a lot of stuff in it. It's like a forever adventure sort of way, like a life simulator sort of. This I liked making. Oh man, I can't wait to put these in the game. Hopefully people enjoy. Like I imagine going in a kind of a dungeon and having this sort of like very eerie track. I like the old games. They actually had a lot of role-playing aspects on it.
Kyle Downey.
You could actually fail missions.
Most all of the Elder Scrolls games allow you to continue after completing the main story.
Ah, that is very
want.
true. That is very true actually. I forgot. Even Skyrim can have that. Yeah. And Skyrim has that. You can make, but in this game there's actually, I think, more options in the role-playing sense. I personally remember, like, you can actually buy houses. I don't know, can you actually own kingdoms in this one, but you can do quite a lot of stuff. Dungeons is one of the things that you can actually spend quite a lot of time too. Dungeons are huge, I tell you. Super huge. But now, some of the themes over here. I think there's still a few ones left.
Kyle Downey. Okay, I have to run now, but happy I stopped by. Keep up the great work. Wispy Whiskers.
It's a pleasure to have you,
Here's a
Kyle Downey.
thought.
Thanks for coming, and see you
Why do
next time. I will be
RPGs
putting these
always
songs to
use rats as
YouTube and
enemies?
also for the mod, hopefully
They aren't
somewhat
exactly
usable to you
threatening.
as well. RPG always have rats as enemies. They aren't exactly threatening. You oh man, I tell you, have you seen some of the big rats, especially in crowded places? Like, oh man, they're terrifying, especially in groups. They actually attack humans. I tell you, they are very nasty. I tell you, there's a reason why they are
AKC.
enemies.
And painting
Oh,
almost
nice!
dried.
Painting is almost ready. Good. We are doing process over here. Of course, I have very limited access on the painting drying side, but still good to hear. All is going well in there. Next over here is. This is such a Hollywood film of sort of music. Oh man, very sort of like that. I don't actually know where each song goes because I haven't yet played Unity version fully. And I did play the original one with so short time I don't remember where the music themselves went. The next one is here, 17. Not bad. I like this one very much. There's some problem in there. I could imagine this actually in a full game, I tell you. This is a very good track, I tell you. This personally I like it. But next one is 20.
Wispy Whiskers. In a swarm I could understand it, but they tend to be used as individual enemies.
Yeah.
Why not instead use them as a kind of stage hazard?
How would you use them as a stage hazard instead? Because the thing is, usually rats, I don't know how they're very attacking of people. It depends on, like, if they're hungry rats. I tell you, like, usually in RPGs, wolves are very simple enemies. But wolves, I tell you, wolves are very dangerous in real life. Like, they are super aggressive. They hunt in packs, usually very dangerous. Like in Skyrim, they are the basic enemies of all. Usually they should be the worst enemies, I tell you. Some of the music of it. Something like that. I think nice music. We have still few those fast ones to listen to. And for some reason, yeah, there's oh, okay. I forgot that, you know, in 1996 there was no really bad thing to show nudity in the game, so I just noticed that there's that. All right. Sorry about that. I didn't realize he went to place of Kynareth, which is very nasty place. I suppose I shouldn't care too much on that, but still, I should have warned people on that. In some places, you know, like it's actually unlawful to show that, so yeah, very, very, I have to be careful. Didn't do by on my own, but let's see. We have some themes over here still. These sort of atmospheric tracks.
and the final one. So that's that. Thanks people for coming to this stream. I appreciate it very much. Hopefully you enjoyed watching the very quick creation of Daggerfall music too. And it here at eluukkanen channel. We do remakes every Monday. It was a pleasure to have you here. Hopefully it was something somewhat enjoyable.
Think of it like the asps in Raiders of the Lost Ark. You can't kill a massive swarm, but instead gameplay should focus on keeping them at bay, like using fire as a deterrent.
I like that. Actually, a very good idea on that. Rats usually are not dangerous unless they are very on the group side of things. They're actually very attacking on that part. And they have diseases. You should very much avoid them. In RPGs, that should be the main way of things. The beginning enemies, what would you suggest on RPG's beginning enemies would be? But unfortunately we cannot hear the answer this time because we are going to be ending the stream after 2 hours and 30 minutes of streaming. Thanks everyone for coming by. We did some tracks. We're going to be doing this as a mod, hopefully, and hopefully people who play Daggerfall Unity will enjoy that mod with the music and such in the background. So, thanks for coming. More streams tomorrow, and a new video in here today for last remake of last week. So thanks, wherever you are, whoever you are, I wish you a good day. And let's listen still this. I personally like this too. I wish you a good day. Oh, I really like some of the tracks over here. I personally like this one. But anyways, more streams coming.